This video is on topic number 22, revolutions in the North Atlantic, and I'll be talking about the French, North American, and Haitian revolutions. During period 5, from 1775 to 1825, the world underwent great change politically, which led to the revolutions I'll be covering. To begin with, Enlightenment thinkers began to spread revolutionary ideas, which inspired the people. Three of them whose ideas sparked change are John Locke, who had the idea that a government's power was limited and all people had natural rights to life, liberty, and property; Charles Louis Montesquieu, who challenged the idea of an absolute monarch by saying that government should be separated into branches; and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who believed that governments should express the will of the people, and that the government and people have a social contract in which both need to do their roles. These ideas challenged divine right absolute leaders, which at the time was the norm, and this inspired people to think differently, setting the ball rolling for revolutions to begin. So, if we follow these revolutions chronologically, the North American Revolution comes first, going from 1775 to 1787. Originally, the colonies enjoyed autonomy from Britain, and Britain didn't take much notice of the American colonies. After global struggles with France, however, Britain ran up quite the debt, resulting in heavy taxation of the American colonies. The colonists hated this for two main reasons. Firstly, economic. They were losing money and such taxes were not in their economic interest. And second, they had no representation in British government, meaning they had no say over said taxes being put in place. Armed with the knowledge of popular sovereignty, natural rights, and the social contract, the angry colonists went to war. The colonists eventually united and formed a unified Continental Army and Congress to combat the British. In 1776, the Americans declared independence, and by 1781, with some help from the French, the colonists had militarily defeated the British. Finally, by 1787, the colonists had formed a unified government, and they outlined a constitution which drafted the basic rights of the people of the United States. Starting in 1789, the French Revolution occurred soon after the American Revolution. The revolution started when Louis XVI, with France on the edge of bankruptcy, called the body of representatives, known as the Estates Generals, into session. There were three estates: the clergy, nobility, and commoners, with the commoners making up 98% of France's population. In 1789, when the Estates General convened, the commoners established themselves as a National Assembly, claiming the sole authority to make laws in France. This began the French Revolution, where the commoners and the National Assembly fought with the nobles for a larger role in government. In 1791, the National Assembly created a constitution which would establish popular sovereignty. After this constitution was signed in 1791, the Legislative Assembly was formed, and this was France's new lawmaking body. In 1792, the French Republic was founded with the National Convention as its government body. At this point, the French monarch no longer had a say in government, and Louis XVI was executed in January 1793. In 1793, a new constitution was written, granting governmental powers to the Committee of Public Safety, which began to rule France. This governing body initiated a period of time known as the Reign of Terror, in which thousands were executed by the guillotine. In 1794, the Reign of Terror came to an end as Robespierre, the leader of the Public Safety Committee, was executed. In 1795, once again, France made another constitution, which led to the founding of a group called the Directory, which led France from 1795 to 1799 and ended the Reign of Terror. The Directory's rule ended in 1799 when a general named Napoleon Bonaparte seized power as emperor. Napoleon went on wars of conquest and built up a large empire until 1815 when he was defeated by other European powers. Napoleon's defeat marked the end of the era of the French Revolution. Next is the Haitian Revolution. Haiti was a wealthy French colony in the Caribbean region. It was regarded at the time as the richest colony in the world. In Haiti, slaves made up the majority of the population, with around 500,000 of the 570,000 Haitians being slaves. When Haitian slaves received news of the French Revolution, they took it as an invitation to revolt, initiating the revolution in 1791. Throughout the 1790s, the French and slaves fought, with occasional Spanish and British intervention. Finally, led by Toussaint Louverture, the slaves were successful and defeated the French, marking the most successful slave revolt of all time. To recap, this video was on the North American, French, and Haitian revolutions during Period 5. Thank you everybody for listening.